only for you and me. Need some privacy. Can I take you over to my hideaway? Got some things that I wanna say. But it's only for you and me. Only need some privacy. Can I take you to my hideaway? Can I take you to my hideaway? Can I take you to my hideaway? Can I take you to my
Yeah, it's Fatal to ya, featuring BMW. We hot up in here. I'm telling you, man, you gonna need the North Pole to cool us off, man. For sure.
Sign-up for voucher is one of the most convenient ways that I'm finding now to do my shopping here at Farmer Joe, and my sister just sent through the voucher on my cell phone, and I just come straight to Farmer Joe to do my shopping.
Ole si tulanga pitusili o le tau. Ole la fo me o le pepa tala o loa. Ona fa anga le fa tau i o loa e au nga mo le ainga.
I think it's really convenient for families overseas if they don't know how to help their families here. Then this is the perfect way.
Mai ai la sa so fua tau e le sia sa. Le fia foi sa we mo mawina le foi au nang fo e ala mai le talo for voucher. Ila wana fa tau ma me te mga oi. Ile voucher.
Tai mo le talo pa voucher o mo le apusu o se o fine. So se para loa fa ngo fie a me se le tfelwa i mala telefoni. Tai mi uma. Ai lo la fo merkes o nei no do tama o le ainga.
Fa te tu la vole talo for voucher mo le foi au nang fo fa tai. Ma lo la le tsam fai.
Pa tai talo pa voucher.
Teki talo for voucher.
O le Oceania Career Academy, o sea o ngai mangele ua whaatuina e le pūlenga le whono mō tangata Pasifika ma Maori. O sea o ngai mauaile to mai whakamuta, whapea isi anga wa esese. E talia so se tangata mai le se furu ono i le wha se furu tausanga, mai ha o nga fua li ima tamai tai wano fo mau pesi te seni New Zealand. Whaafso tai nei loa le OCA i le overu se lau, ono lua lua, valu fitasi. Pea siasi le website www.oca.nz.
Talofa lava everyone, malole soifo mamalangema, and a warm Pacific greetings to everyone that's tuned in for your Friday.
It's Friday.
Flylay. It's Flylay, everyone.
Now, on earlier this week, we did have a combined show again where we started talking about relationships, and we mentioned that if you had any questions, to flick them through to us, and we will get back to you next week. But the demand has been so big that we've actually brought Lorenzo on for a good Friday conversation about relationships. And I think today's one is going to be a bit of an explosive one. The question is silent treatment a form of manipulation or abuse?
Where did you get that definition from?
No, I said that's the question.
Oh, it's a question.
It's a question.
Is silent treatment a form of manipulation or abuse? So that's a question that's been put forth to us. So we are going to discuss that in a little bit. But I know Bea has a few things that she wants to say.
Yes. First of all, we did get a gift from somebody. Santa has gifted us with the mea alofa today. So you know who you are, and I know that you wanted to remain anonymous. And sometimes givers, they don't want to be announced. They're just purely here to give from their heart. So you know who you are. God knows who you are. So whawhetai lava to the beautiful, wonderful person that's gifted us some gifts for Bluwave team. But talking about gifts, if you're looking for a special gift for your ainga in Samoa, ta lofa voucher, everybody, whaapea, you're like thinking, does ta lofa voucher only? Check the website out, www.pacific40.com and check it out, because they've got a wide range of stores online that use a talofa voucher system. Massive shout out to Maota o Samoa, of course, a service station in Samoa, Pacific Easy Money Transfer. We've got the beautiful, beautiful florist. If you're looking for a Christmas present, $20 calendars are available here at Bluwave. 28D Lambie Drive, Manukau here in Auckland, and of course Oceania Academy, our new sponsor as well, and the generator. All of the above. So thank you so much for your love and support. But let's get straight into it. Because this has been cooking for a while.
So we've given you some time to ponder on the question. The question is silent treatment a form of manipulation or abuse? Now, we're talking about silent treatment in romantic relationships. So either when the woman gives her husband or partner, boyfriend, silent treatment, or when the man gives the woman silent treatment. So,
but you know what? I actually think that other relatisilenships use that form.
True.
So friendships, I know that friendships use silent treatment a lot.
Workplaces,
because I do that a lot here at the workplace as well.
Church.
It's Mikey. I always ignore Mikey. I never want to talk to Mikey.
Were you giving me silent treatment when I tagged you and a person didn't reply back to me?
What post?
No. So this is really funny. So what was it? When Asiata was on the show, Asiata and I kept mocking Bea that she's famous, because she is famous. So just by coincidence, when I was on Facebook, this meme popped up and it said, "At your favorite famous person and see if they respond." And I added Bea, and then this was yesterday evening, and then I waited, woke up this morning, no reply back. So then I sent a screenshot to the work chat, and I was like, "Oh, my famous person didn't reply back to me."
Too famous to respond. Too famous to reply.
And then maybe that's another question: does fame change people? So I'm kidding. I'm actually really kidding.
No, it's funny, but it is true though. But I'm not referring to Pea because I'm not referring to you, Marcus.
No, this is not fair at all. No, honestly, Bea's always she's obviously answers to my every single message. This is just one.
But that's a really good subject that you brought up, Claudia, because before we start talking about silent treatments, it is true that fame and being popular, your popularity actually changed some people. Attitude towards their normal friends and the people that they usually talk to and they usually ask for help from. All of a sudden when they become famous, man, they don't know you anymore. And then they start giving
silent treatment to the people that were there from them from the start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, who does that?
Not you.
Or not you.
Definitely not that. I don't mean that sarcastically.
Definitely. But it happens.
It does happen.
Yeah,
it does happen in our community. So if it's happening to you right now, and I'm going to answer because I know, and it's not in relation to fame. This is in relation to the volume of community work that we've just been, given, right? Yeah. So the volume, we'll use that. The volume of work that's come through for our community work up. And I know from time to time, I'm not going to name names on here.
Name it.
You know who you are. But somebody has said to me, oh, Bear Man, you know what? You would never, ever apply the same energy that you do with the community to your family. Someone's actually said that to me.
Really?
In my family. And I'm not having a go at my ainga, but I'm just saying I appreciate the honesty. I really do. Because with this person outing me like this, it has given me more of a reason to stay more alert and make sure that I do apply the same energy to my family. My reason and my excuse, because I'm going to say excuse because I use it as an excuse, was the community work, they're not as forgiving as your ainga. That was my response. So the community they actually need, whatever it is at the time, they need me to be present. That's why I'm there. Whereas my family, they're forgiving. They're more forgiving. And so to my ainga, who you know who you are, I appreciate the honesty. I really, really do. But yeah, sometimes definitely not fame. A change of busyness or something,
Yeah,
it does, yeah.
It does. Time management,
yeah.
No, I salute you. I salute you. I take my hat off to you there for, bringing it up because it is true though. Yeah. And someone, I think 2 weeks ago, Al said the same thing to me, that the same energy and the same effort and the momentum, the exposure, your potential and that you show in the community, you should be taking the same sort of like approach into the church. I totally agree. Yeah. But then the thing is, because some of our church communities are too traditional, like you're not really open to new changes. And then hence you just do the same thing over and over. You walk into the church, you sit at the back, and you just have to listen to the elderly people. But that's the same,
It's the same thing, and I'm going to agree with you because I know that it does. People are right, and I really do appreciate the honesty. However, for myself, I do view things a little bit different, and I do have a friend, a very close friend of mine, who is in the ministry, who does believe that certain things that we do for our community is also ministry work. So we just need to remember that. So yes, you're right that we do need to apply all of this energy, the same energy into our church lives and church community. However, sometimes we do need to take the church to the people. I'm not saying I'm perfect because I'm actually quite number one sinner right here, guys. Number one. But I think it's also important to take the church to the community. Yeah. Can't keep... can you imagine if I'm only sharing love to people who only know Christ in church? What about the love that I need to show to our community?
Isn't that part of like our roles as like Christians and Catholics to share the word of God? Yeah. In
any form. Yeah. Sorry, it's gone quiet. Should we have a donut and talk about silent treatment?
Well, so then have you ever been, I guess, a person that's given someone else silent treatment? I think we all have.
Oh, yes, number one.
I have. But here's my second question. Do you think that it's necessary? Because now that I'm older, he's looking at me. Now that I'm older, I think that silent treatment is not something that you should indulge. I think that as soon as you have an issue, maybe just say it straight away to the person. And I think the sooner you express yourself, the sooner you can get to working out the problems, finding a solution, and then hopefully it never happens again. And then, because I know that with silent treatment, you're just holding it inside and it's like brewing and you're getting angrier and angrier. And then like with anything, you're just going to go, poof. And that's just not healthy for yourself.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah, I totally agree. But before, I'm just going to quickly say a massive shout out to Von. Von's actually the owner of
Stunner No
Limits. So
hello.
Shout out to the brother. He does the printing, so hit up the brother for the printing. But yeah, don't give the brother silent treatment.
But going back to what you say there, Claudia, about silent treatment, we're now in our topic. I think people deal with situations, differently, and I think it depends on the cause of the problem, and is there a history or are there reasons behind why the other person is giving the other person the silent treatment? So it's different cases and different ways of resolving it. For example, in my family, to be very honest, I'm number one. I am a champion of giving silent treatment, to be very honest. And there are reasons why behind it. But then it's my way of dealing. I know I shouldn't be doing it. I don't do it all the time. But then if you and your partner have a heated argument, another way to deal with it is to walk away and just be silent, not saying anything.
I agree with the walking away and taking a breather and doing it, but like I'm referring to a silent treatment where like you have an issue and you just hold it and you just carry it with you for weeks, days, months on end, and it's just brewing and brewing.
A grudge, like for maybe about a year,
and like a grudge. So I completely agree. If you have a very heated argument, I think one of the best things you could do is just walk away, take a breather.
If that's the case,
and then come back.
If that's the case, then it should really depend on when the person that's giving the silent treatment feels okay to come out and say, look, I want to sit you down, I want to talk about this. But the other person cannot force the other person to talk about it if the other person doesn't want to. But then the two parties, both people, need to work on what needs to be sorted first before they come together and talk about it, right? And it also comes, with communications. Is massive in this.
Yeah.
The way you deliver your message, man. The way you deliver is really important, because honestly, if you're trying to make the other person talk and your tone is like boom,
and your tone is like, no, but I told you.
Yeah, but I told you.
But
of
I
course.
said.
Yeah. But I told
If
you.
imagine if you go,
That's what I mean. That sort of tone. It's really important that you really select. You really pick the right time and the right tone, and also maybe the right environment. Sometimes it's safer to talk outside of home.
Yeah.
Take your partner out to a cafe or out to a park. Because
there's people around and you don't want to scream in front of other people.
Not that.
Yeah.
Not that, but it just brings a different energy, different you know what I mean,
So maybe take your heated argument, maybe to the gas station. Fuel up, and I agree with you both, and however, yes, we've read that silent treatment is a form of manipulation, right? Okay. And it prevents us from resolving issues. I'll tell you this, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything today. I am the queen of silent treatment. And now that I've read that it is a form of manipulation, hand on heart, okay, because it has worked. For me, and not actually in my marriage, other things like siblings. It breaks them to a point where they finally say, right, okay. But it's just because I don't want to sugarcoat it, and I'm not going to lie, and it's worked. So if you've been on that crossroad where I've given you the silent treatment, it's because I needed you to understand how severe the issue was. That was me getting my point across that, look, you hurt me to the point where I'm not going to give in, and that you do not deserve to mistreat people like the way that you have. And that is the form of silent treatment that I applied right there. It doesn't always work, and I'm not trying to gloat about it, but it does become, now that I think about it, and now that I've read into certain terms that's been used, yeah, maybe it was, maybe at the time when I wanted to apply it, it wasn't meant to be a manipulation type thing. But now that I've stood back and now that I'm okay, and I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But I just thought I'd just not sugarcoat, because I do use silent treatment as a method of getting my point across.
How would you, resolve, or how would you help someone that's, a champion and a queen of silent treatment? Because I don't know, might as well use this opportunity to look for, solutions as well. I doubt, I bet you, most of our viewers, they must be dealing with the same sort of issue.
Yep.
Or someone on the receiving end of silent treatment. But how would you...
What if, say, for example, and this has never happened, but what if, one day you gave me a silent treatment? What if, from today, I didn't hear from you all weekend, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
Then I'm dead.
And then, no, so,
sorry.
Okay, well, let's just say it's Tasha and Ricky.
Okay, yep, Tasha and Ricky, yes.
And Tasha is giving Ricky the silent treatment, but he has absolutely no idea what he's done, right?
Yeah.
And then, so he messages Tasha and he's like, hey, look, I'm really sorry if I've upset you. I don't know what I've done. If you can tell me what I've done. And then that in reply is that I don't know.
That's a tricky one. I have to admit that's a tricky one, because I have I think personal experience, and no names, but I think I have experienced being at the receiving end.
Because I experienced that one too, and then when I found out the reason, I'm like, seriously? And then the reason was because the guy that she liked had a crush on me, and I'm like, that had nothing to do with me, and I hadn't even met him.
What's his name? Like, I think it's quite a tricky one. Yeah.
It's like,
To all of our viewers who have just tuned in, what are your thoughts with the silent treatment? We've all discussed that, it is a form of manipulation after you've stepped back. That's me, and I didn't sugarcoat it. What are your thoughts? Does it help? Or
because that was like a form of me, I guess, trying to solve it. I'm like, I haven't heard you from a few days.
Yeah.
Not really sure what I've done. Like the last time I saw you were fine, and then now you're ignoring me. And so I was reaching out. That was my way of solving it, and obviously it didn't work.
And because you didn't know.
No.
Because you weren't sure.
And I had no idea. And then it just resulted that she liked this guy, and then that guy who I never met in real life saw a picture of me and had a crush on me or whatever. And so she got upset at me. But then, obviously, that solution didn't
really work either.
So then what other solutions can you do? This is very tough.
Yeah, that is a tough question,
She wants to remain anonymous, but the person that asked this question, that's a very good question. Like,
it is.
Silent treatment. It's
silent treatment thing is,
very hard.
So I think for me, it's kind of like siblings, right? You have this massive as argument, big argument, and you're not talking to each other for, I'm telling you, for about a week. And this has happened, and it's not just my family. Putting my family on. It's happened to so many families where they have had a massive fallout, and then you've had no choice but to talk to them. I think there was a case where I kind of just like, Mum called you. And now that I've remembered, there has been there's actually been, I think there was a TikTok. Oh, there was a TikTok. Yes. There was a TikTok. I remember there was a TikTok. So there was a silent treatment. A couple had an argument. Mr. and Mrs. had an argument. And so the wife went and removed the toilet roll she removed the toilet roll from the toilet and replaced it with an empty one. So her and her husband had an argument. She replaced the toilet roll with the empty one and cleared everything. So the husband had no choice.
Oh, no.
This is a whole new level of manipulation.
To talk to her.
So the husband had no choice but to say, "Hun, where's the toilet paper?" But then I'm just thinking, what?
Is that clever?
That's clever.
Is that clever? Because I guess you're initiating a conversation.
You're
even
initiating
though
a
it's
conversation.
paper. I don't know. Is that, I don't know.
break. You're initiating a conversation to break the silent treatment.
Is that good manipulation? Is there such a thing as good manipulation?
I think it's a fun, manipulation, a fun way of, making someone talk.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can imagine, the husband's reaction, end up laughing, and oh man, you got
That's
me.
quite clever. And now that I've thought about it,
I would laugh. I would definitely bond over my partner if that happened.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, oh, damn, I have to talk to you now because I need.
Well, there's a solution, guys. Remove the full toilet paper roll and replace it with an empty one. Maybe.
Yeah. So that's one solution.
That's one solution.
There we go.
I think the other solution is this is a very, very difficult topic because silent treatment sometimes just comes naturally. Just someone who thinks that he or she hasn't done any wrong, but then by trying to get the point across to the other person, but the other person doesn't really see the point. So the person that's giving silent treatment has no choice but to keep doing it until the message gets across. But then it says here, in some research that it can also leave someone or the partner on the receiving end feeling worthless, unloved, hurt, confused, frustrated, angry, and unimportant, which is all true, very true. But then, what about the person that's giving silent treatment? How can we help that person? What sort of advice or that we can give to people that give silent treatment?
I guess.
Now that we're talking about it, I don't think we've ever really, or I don't think anyone really has kind of openly discussed it, because I think I think certain, and I'm not comparing anyone to it, but I think certain relationships or friendships have just kind of been used to the fact that silent treatment is part of life. I know that there was a TikTok that somebody had shared earlier on. I didn't actually watch the full thing, but
I watched it, but
it took it to another level, right? But yeah, you're right. You kind of we're sitting here. We actually don't have any answers, because I don't think we've ever really resolved the issue.
How do you help that person, or what advice can you give that person?
Yeah.
I think, for me personally, because I've experienced it, I've done it, I think I can honestly say there's no room for giving silent treatment. You shouldn't be treating anyone by giving silent treatment.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The other person does not deserve your energy, your negative energy, your anger, your frustration. And if it goes on for days, man, I'll tell you what, but, it seems like, you got issues, No.
I'm going,
honestly, I'm speaking.
I'm laughing that he looked at me when
I'm
he said
speaking
that.
from experience, because I do it.
So you're saying that, but now I'm gonna jump in. What happens if the person who is giving the silent treatment actually finds some kind of inner peace, that they don't have to deal with it, and they're actually in that zone?
They get over it,
and they just get over it. That's their way of just overcoming whatever the issue is.
There's got to be a process on how you overcome it. You can't just let go of it. You can't just wake up tomorrow morning and
I think process the information in your own time, just process it. That's during that silent treatment process, if you want to call it a process, or manipulation, whatever, you finally kind of okay, hi, how are you? And then, you know what? I've had time to think. I'm not happy. I'm not impressed. You hurt my feelings. What are we going to do to resolve it?
I mean, that's a good way. I mean, that's exactly the process.
But then I guess the question is, what is too much time?
Yeah.
And is it fair to, I guess, be silent with that person for a week, 2 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks?
It depends on how difficult or what you've done to the other person. You know, say for example, you know, if you cheat on your boyfriend or girlfriend, of course, you know, the cheated partner is going to give you silent treatment.
Yeah.
You know, until you bow down and kneel down and ask for forgiveness. So it depends on and how.
It is really a
what do you call it?
case-by-case
It is.
scenario.
What's the word that I'm talking about? What's the word that I'm trying to think? Genuine. You know, it has to come from your heart because the person that's receiving all the silent treatment can tell whether you are being genuine or not,
You
being
can tell.
truthful.
truthful and genuine.
Yeah, genuine.
2 words that are going to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
Genuine and truthful.
Yeah. Cheers.
I really.
Genuine and
Like,
truthful.
so I guess that brings us to the question again that we were discussing today. Is silent treatment a form of manipulation and abuse? And
We have
I
not.
don't know.
I don't know now.
I
I'm
would say
actually
yes.
stuck.
I would say yes.
You're saying yes? You're saying yes?
I would say yes.
I'm saying no because I give silent
Like,
treatment like a boss.
Is it a case by case scenario? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like, yes.
I think certain
Theoretically,
characters.
yes.
Yeah. But damn,
I
it is
hate
a
to
different-
call it. I hate to call it silent treatment, but it's a way of you trying to process what just happened. You know,
I think it is. I think as well
A
for.
trauma response, is it?
I guess so. Yeah, like it's,
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. Okay. So if we're gonna be honest about, I'm gonna share it. I've given somebody the silent treatment for about a year. Has it worked? I don't know. Has that person been genuine with, you know, I'm not sure. My heart now doesn't know if the certain person has processed the information that because I've genuinely have, you know, helped or whatever. But the silent treatment for me was to give myself kind of like, yeah, that's it, you know.
Yeah.
But has it helped? I don't know now because now I'm stuck in a position where, okay, if this person was to apologize, how will then I process it? Because it's been such a long time. How will I now know that that apology is a genuine,
it's genuine.
one? Right? So it's you get stuck. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but that was my personal opinion, guys. So
I think we're going to have to continue this conversation next week. I think we are a little bit stumped for answers,
but send us your questions. Send us your answers. If you think you've got the answer and a solution, help us out. Don't be shy because I think, like we mentioned, our previous show that we spoke about relationship is not just about about a husband and a wife. It's also mother and father, sister and siblings, work relationships, friendship relationships.
Work colleagues.
We even established yesterday that business relationships, there's heaps of relationships that tie in together to make one ultimate goal, a relationship work for the community. So send your questions through and your thoughts because it sounds like everyone needs a little bit. You will remain anonymous, so don't worry.
yes, the anonymous person that gave us this question, very good question.
Very good question because we're kind of stuck. We even did a little bit of research as well, and we're still stumped. We don't want to
Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit more homework on it. But so we are gonna wrap up the show for the Friday, but don't go anywhere because Lorenzo's gonna be
right up next.
Just one more comment from me, please, girls.
Yes.
Is that never forget if you're giving someone silent treatment, you are actually punishing that person, you know, for what she or he's done. So that's another. I see it as a form of punishment as well.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, but you gotta have a forgiving heart. You know, you gotta consider the other person's feelings as well, and how your silent treatment is affecting that person, you know, mental well-being as well. Because honestly, you are hurt just as much as the other person, to be very honest. Because if that person,
Lorenzo, you're too good. You're too good. Yeah.
I mean, you know, especially if you're doing it to your husband or your wife, because you have no idea how much the other person loves you, and the other person is trying so hard to reach out to you, but you're just not giving that person a chance to be able to say, I'm sorry, you know, and you're able to forgive that person. So
Well, the question is, are you really sorry? Nah, kidding. I'm joking. You're right. I love you, Lorenzo. I love you, Claudia. No, because I always like to, give that little bit of a twist on that. But before we go, I wanted to share a message that I'm going to hide, but a message that's been sent through from somebody. Be kind and lovable always. It's nice to be important, but it's nice. It's important to be nice. Okay? That's it for your Friday. We're going to go and have... Check this out. I need to show the camera.
wow. Don't forget the month of December. It is all about being kind.
All about being kind.
The kindness month. Be kind to yourself first before you can be kind to others.
Yeah. It's the season of giving. It's all about the birth of Jesus Christ, guys. That's
All I want for Christmas is my hat.
That's us.
I'm not making eye contact.
Stay tuned. We've got Lorenzo and the brother Asiata later on. That's us. Have a great weekend. God bless.
O le Oceania Career Academy, o sea o ngai mangele ua whaatuina le pūlenga le whono mō tangata Pasifika ma Maori. O sea o ngai mauai le tomai whakamuta, whapea isi anga wa eseste. E talia so se tangata mai le se furu ono le wha se furu tausanga, ma ea o nga fua li ima tamai tai wano fo maupe se tiseni New Zealand. Whaafso tai nei loa le OCA i le overu se lau, ono lua lua, valu fitutasi. Pea si le website www.oca.nz.
Local voucher is one of the most convenient ways that I'm finding now to do my shopping here at Farmer Joe, and my sister just sent through the voucher on my cell phone, and I just come straight to Farmer Joe to do my shopping.
O le si tūranga pitusili o le tāua. O le lafo me o le pepa tala o loa. O na whaanga le whaatau i o loa e au ngā mo le ainga.
I think it's really convenient for families overseas if they don't know how to help their families here. Then this is the perfect way.
Mai ai la sa sunga fua tau ai lesia sa. Le fia foi sa we mo mawina le foi au nang fo e ala mai le talo fo voucher. Ila wana fa tau ma me te mga ai. Ile voucher.
Tai mo le talo voucher ua maua le apasusi o sewa fine. So se paro loa whaingo fie, a me se le te wherua i mana o telefoni tai mi uma. Ai lo le lafo me le cash o na inu e lor tamao le ainga.
Whapea tu lava le talo fo voucher mo le foi au nang fo whaptai. Ma lua lava le tampai.
Tai talo voucher. Teki talo voucher.
Tau tua ma le au nanga le mot tau sa mo service station nei tona i matu. Ma tau te utuina lo ta vale, ma le tele o nisi o matu au nanga i se ese. Ai le ngata foi le, ma tau te sea ke ina fo i lo ta vale. Siapa lah yang voice wow, mau lah ucapan. Afai foi vai pa olosa. Awala te pon, matu te siapa lah yang foi mau lah ucapan. Molo no posila fia. Mua, tapela ucapan le pe out. Lua, tapela o telefone ni tai me utu ina le ucapan. Mala vaenga mulu. Mana tua fo. E matua i whasaina, lo tau maftapa ai no fuanga whapeni. Mota Samoa, ore mota mo Samoa. Mato te fia e au na pea mo o Samoa. Maftaile fia mai. We'll see you again. God bless.
Krisimasi ma whaelonga tupeta I lua se lautala e whase fulu o Sauni e le Pacific Easy moa na paanga. E lua se fulu whaelonga mo Samoa, lua se fulu foi whaelonga tupeta I lua se lautala mo New Zealand nei. Whamole mole whaonga le tali fufonga au mai lau pasi e loa ai wa mai au na whai utui. Mai fautui na foi le whaonga o le F-Pass e tutongi e tupe whaamomoli pe a whaonga ina o tātou ofisa I o Tara o Tahuhu ma Mangele. Whaaftek tele Samoa le langlango I le nei tausanga ma ia maru I tele le Krisimasi ma le tausanga fau I ainga umo Samoa. Modisi whaamtalanga wala au le ovalu se lau o tasi ono. Po le lua fitu ono, fitu wiva, fitu wha. Pacific Easy o lau paanga mo tupe whaamomoli I Samoa.
For the next generation of growers and farmers in the Pacific, may you find your own rhythm on the land. May you grow and teach others how to grow with love. May your skills and intuition continue to nourish, nurture, and advise those who need it.